everyone. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you for joining us here on Moxie Monday. We are going to be talking about contacts and how you can get your contacts into your Engage account so that you can dive in and start using your new CRM, which is called Moxie Engage. So you should have by now, hopefully, logged into your Moxie account. And this is exactly what it will look like when you log in. This is your profile page, and JD went over some topics last week on how to get your headshots and your contact information and all that good stuff up and running. So we are going to dive into Engage. So across the top here, you'll see all of your options. Home is actually going to be where our hub is. That's not quite up and running yet, but stay tuned. That some exciting single sign-on options will be coming to us shortly. And then, of course, Present is your CMA. And then what we're going to talk about today is our CRM and Engage. So click on Engage in the upper menu there, and that will launch you right into your platform. If you've not clicked on Engage yet, you will have a couple of options to set up your Engage account. You'll be able to set your goal for what you want your GCI goal to be, and then it's going to ask you if you want to sync your contacts. So anybody in the company that is running a Schmidt family of companies email G Suite account, that would be CB Great Lakes, CB Schmidt Ohio, or CB Florida Homes, all of your contacts that are currently in your G Suite account will automatically sync over into your Engage account. So all those contacts will come over seamlessly for you. Now, if you are running a separate Gmail account that is not Schmidt Family of Companies, so it could be your name at gmail.com, we do have the option turned on in order to sync that email contact list with our Engage account as well. Unfortunately, if you have a Yahoo or an Hotmail or an AOL account, that is not possible to have those sync over. It does have to be some sort of a G Suite Gmail account. If you do choose to sync an account that's not Schmidt Family of Companies, we do have a little legwork to do. All you have to do is email support@moxieworks.com. Send them the email address that you want to sync. They will update that in their system, and then the next time you click on Engage, your contacts will come over. So that's not done seamlessly. You do have to notify support@moxieworks.com if you want to sync an account that is not your CB Great Lakes, CB Schmidt Ohio, or cbsmfl.com. So just notify them. They will update that for you, and then they will let you know when they're done. So that next time you click in, you will have your contacts there for you. There is another option with API Nation, and we can send this link out after the fact in order to sync your contacts using a G Suite Google Sheet. So there's a few steps that will allow you to set up your sync that way as well, but you still have to operate with a Gmail account. It's not going to be able to be done with Hotmail or any of the other vendors. It does still have to be G Suite. If you're operating an account that's not G Suite and you would like to run a Schmidt Family of Companies G Suite account, all you have to do is email myself or Mr. JD, and we will get that account set up for you so that you can start using the company provided G Suite account. So just send us an email, let us know, request it through your ASC, and they'll reach out to us, and then we will be able to get that created for you. So back to Moxie Engage. So if you're a manager on the call, or if you're an ASC or RSC on the call, you do have options here, agent mode or manager mode. So based on what you would like to do and engage that day, you need to toggle back and forth between agent and manager. If you're an agent on the call, you don't have to worry about that option. You'll simply launch right into your agent page. So because I do operate the Schmidt Family of Companies G Suite account with my schmidthq.com email address, all of my stuff is already synced over. So I have my calendar populating. I have all the contacts that are in my G Suite account already here for me. So we do have a sales flow option. So even though your contacts sync over, they're not necessarily going to be tagged for you yet. Now the good news is your groups will come over. So if you have tags, labels, whatever you want to call them, groups in G Suite, those will come over with the sync. So you don't have to worry about labeling them again. But what you do want to do is put the people in the sales flow. So as you can see here, we have these options. We have marketing, prospects, actives, and pendings. So for the most part, all of the people in your sphere of influence would fall into the marketing category. They haven't raised their hand yet and said, I would like to buy a house or I would like to sell a house, but they are your sphere of influence, which is your most important sphere. So we can tag all of the people into the sales flow. Now, when they say, hey, I'm really serious, I think I'm going to sell my house, can you come over and do a listing appointment? Then you would want to move them into the prospects category. Keep in mind, please mute yourselves if you don't have a question so that we don't have background noise.
Yep, that's who it is.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Once that listing agreement is signed, or the buyer broker is signed, or you're actively showing them houses, you would want to move those over to the actives category. This is going to tell you, based on your GCI goal, how many additional people you need in each of your sales flow categories in order to reach that goal. So it can really help you drive your success and your productivity with your business based on what your goal is and what you need in each category to accomplish that goal. So it's a pretty cool system. Now, the last category is pending. Once that listing goes in the MLS, or perhaps it's your buyer, the MLS automatically syncs to your Engage account, and it's going to know based on the MLS number that you can associate with your client. Once it goes pending, it's automatically going to update it once it's updated in the MLS, and then it puts it in your pending category. So we can show you real quick how to do that. It's super simple. So here is all people, or you can go into your new category, or you can click in overview. So I'm simply going to launch into all my people so that I can show you how you can quickly categorize your people. So you can see I have a lot of emails in here because they simply synced over from my G Suite account. So if you click on the person that you want, you have this option right here. Are they a client or are they a non-client? Most of the people in your sphere of influence are going to be clients, even though they fall in that first marketing category. If it's a vendor that you work with, if it's a title person, if it's a mortgage person, if it's your spouse, that's probably going to be a non-client. So you can go ahead and tag them as non-client. Once you do that, you have options here. Your options are, let me just pause real quick and try to find the background noise and so I can get that muted. So one moment here.
Anyway, he couldn't hear him.
There we go. Sorry about that. So from here, if they're a non-client, you have the options of doing it's personal. So maybe it's your spouse or your family members and you know that they're not going to be transacting in real estate. You can mark that as personal. If it is that title person, if it's your mortgage lender, if it's a home inspector, you can mark that as a collaborator. Those are for vendors. If it's somebody that just came over from your email address that you probably will never need to contact here in this system, you can go ahead and just remove from Engage. So if you had contacts come over from your G Suite account that you don't necessarily want, you can choose to remove them from Engage and they will be gone. It won't remove it from your G Suite account. That email address will still be in your system, but you don't have to worry about seeing them in your Engage account. So clicking back to results, you can filter for groups. So if you want to look for just a certain group, you can search for them that way. These are all of my categories that came over from my G Suite account, so you can choose to do it that way as well. You can type in a name, a phone number, whatever it might be to search for that contact. You have all of that functionality there. So going into another one, I can show you how you can tag them into the sales flow. So I will just pick on this person here. So maybe this is a client. Maybe it's somebody you met at the grocery store. Maybe it's somebody that you picked up from an open house that you had done. You want to choose them as a client. Once you choose them as a client, you have more options. So you can create a marketing plan. You can make them a prospect, or you can make them a prospect for selling or a prospect for buying. And based on what you choose to put them at, you're going to have options for our campaigns. Now, if you were in Engage last week, JD figured out that we had a slight issue with our campaigns. They were turned off. Well, they have since been turned on, and they are available now for you to either add to your clients, or you can update them however you want for your sales flow, how you operate your business, but they are available in there now. So when you click create marketing campaign, you have further options here. So you can see that the system is very intuitive based on the real estate process. So now you can choose them as a past seller, They could possibly be a past buyer. Maybe they bought and sold from you, or it could simply be none of those. So you have a lot of options here. You can see here is where you can add a transaction to that client. So you can make them a buyer or a seller. You can add the MLS number there so that when it does close in the MLS, that information is fed over automatically into the Engage system and will help track your GCI. So lots of options here in Engage. Now back to our results here. If you're ever working in the system and you get lost, you've had a couple clicks and you're not quite sure where you go, you can always come back up here to the top, simply click on Engage again, and then you can get back into your dashboard. So you have a lot of options there. If you want to add a person that did not sync over from your G Suite account, it's super simple to do so. You simply click on the blue Add People button here. And then, as typical with most client relationship management tools, you just simply fill in their information. You put in their name, if they have a label.
Oh, sure.
Sorry about that, I had to mute again. Can you all still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear, and we're also on hold for somebody else.
Thank you.
Kelly speaking.
John Thurman, it keeps coming from your line, so if you could go ahead and mute yourself, I would appreciate it. Thank you. So here's where you can add the people, and then you can put in the label if you would like. Obviously, you'd want to put their phone number, their email address, if they have a home address, and then kind of cool here is you can actually add in if they have Skype, what their relationship is with you, and then you can actually add in their social media as well. So you would want to put in as much information as possible so that you are able to go back to this person at a later date and know exactly who this person is and what your relationship is with them. So again, that is to add people. Kind of also a cool thing on your overview dashboard here is it gives you recently viewed. So if you were working with a client, maybe you did pick them up over the weekend at an open house and you've added them in, and then 2 days later, you go back to see what you need to follow up on, they're gonna show up in your recently viewed. So that's a kind of a cool feature that Engage has. It's also going to give you recommended actions. So sort of like Zap, and it kind of tells you when you need to make touch points with people, Engage is going to give you recommended actions as well. So that neighborhood news, which is a really cool feature to stay in touch with your clients, you can subscribe them to it. If you don't like Engage's recommendation, you simply click skip and it's going to come off of here. Now keep in mind, unlike Zap, where you have to stay in green light status in order to receive new leads, Engage is your CRM. This is for your clients, your sphere of influence, and you don't have to worry about updating to keep you in green status. This is not associated with Zap in that way. So that is the information I had for you. So I will open it up to questions. So if you don't have audio, you can type them in the chat box, or if you do have audio, you can go ahead and unmute yourself, and then we will be able to answer those questions for you. So while we're waiting for questions to come in, I will kind of quickly recap for those that may have came on the call later. And we are talking about our Engage product, which is right here in our menu. This is our CRM, our client relationship management tool. This is really driving your sphere of influence, and it's going to help you keep an eye on your business based on your GCI goal and the clients that you put in the system into the sales flow. So let me move over to my chat and read some questions. First question is from Sarah. How do we get clients over from Zap? So good question, Sarah. You can go into Zap, and what you would want to do is export your clients from Zap. Then you're going to want to import them into your G Suite account using the import feature in your contacts, and then that will automatically sync over to Engage. So simply export from Zap, import into your G Suite email address, and then they will automatically come over from Zap. Now keep in mind, if you're updating them in Engage, it's not going to update to Zap. The systems are not tied together. So if you bring them over from Zap, but they were a broker provided lead, you will still need to update them in Zap in order to stay in green status. Good question there. Donna asked, is all of our proprietary client information shared with corporate Coldwell Banker? Good question, Donna. Neither the Schmidt family of companies or Coldwell Banker Corporate, because this is not associated with corporate Coldwell Banker, but nobody is able to see your proprietary client information. This is stored in the Moxie platform, and even people with management status cannot see your client information. So you don't have to worry about any of your client proprietary information being shared. So good question. The question from Deb is, if you're using Apple Mail and Apple Contacts, how do you link with contacts? So we do have to have a G Suite provided email address in order to sync those contacts over. The company provides that for you as an agent with no additional charge to you. So if you are using iMail and you want to sync your contacts over, simply reach out to JD or myself. We will create that G Suite account for you. You'll export your contacts out of your Apple Mail and then import them into the G Suite account, and then that will allow you to sync automatically with Engage. Andrew asked if it's possible to import database from other Google Sheets or Excel. And yes, Andrew, as long as you are operating in a Gmail account, you are able to import from Google Sheets using that API Nation link. And again, I will get that link out so that you guys have that information so that you can go ahead and get your contacts into your Engage account. Question from Glinda, will G Suite work if you have Apple, Mac, Air? So G Suite will work as long as you have that full G Suite account. So I operate on an Apple. I have a Mac as well, so I do have my G Suite up and running at all times. I don't utilize iMail. I am in the Gmail system, so that is possible to do it. You just have to make sure that the information is in your G Suite account. Carrie asked, contacts added directly to Engage sync back to Google. So this is a one-way flow. Great question, Carrie. It will go from G Suite over to Engage, but it will not backfill into G Suite. It only goes from G Suite to Engage. It will not ever flow from Engage back to G Suite. Good question. Elon asked, can you link several contacts, not all? I'm not quite sure what you mean by link, Elon. So if you want to unmute and ask your question or further give me information, hopefully I can get that answered for you. If not, we can always chat offline after. Import. Can you import? Yes. So you can import your contacts all at once via that G Suite Google Sheet account using the API Nation link. So good question. But yes, you don't have to add clients in individually. We are able to do this all at once. Also, Moxie Works actually provides, if you would like, a concierge service. They will work with you in all of your different accounts to get all your contacts over into Engage. There is a small additional fee for that service, but if you are interested in doing that, if you really want to dive into the Engage platform and have all of your contacts over from multiple platforms, Moxie Works does have that concierge service for you. Simply go to the help desk, the support page, and send them a note, and they will engage you with that service. Jamie said that, let me read through real quick. Jamie, I will take that offline with you. We can go ahead and merge those two accounts together and operate that however you want. So go ahead and shoot me an email, and then I will engage with you this afternoon and we'll get that cleared up. So good question there. Okay, well, we are at our 20-minute mark and I don't see any further questions, but we'll go ahead and give it just a few more moments and see if any more come in. Early feedback from the people that have been working with Engage are they really like it. They're finding a lot of success with it. They're finding it easy to use. And so we just really encourage everybody to get in there and start working with the new system. And I don't see any more questions, so I want to say thank you guys so much for all of your time today. Keep in mind these are all recorded and put into our Moxie Mondays playlist in the Schmidt Video Classroom. You can go direct from schmidtvideoclassroom.com, or you can link through from Schmidt Resources. So thanks everyone so much for your time. We look forward to seeing you next Monday at 10:15. Bye now.